name is Abby, and today I'm going to be leading you through another fun vinyasa flow. We're going to be working on strengthening our hip flexors and finding a bit of mobility in some fun little exercises. So we'll get started in a nice tall seat. I recommend having blocks and maybe a strap for this class. When you're ready, just bring yourself to that nice tall seat. Stack your spine nice and tall, roll the shoulders down your back. Just begin to notice your breath. Belly rising and falling with each breath. Allow your mind to begin to calm here, really bringing yourself to this space. We'll take a couple of collective breaths, so exhale any air you've got left in you now. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Deep breath in the nose, and an exhale. On your next breath in, we'll open up through the eyes. We're going to make our way to a nice tall seat toward the front of our mats. So here, you're going to root down through your sit bones. Maybe you take blocks to frame your hips. Otherwise, fingertips to the floor as your chest is nice and open. We're going to lift the right leg high and lower it down. We'll lift the left leg and lower it down. So we're really working to engage through the hip flexors here. If you don't know what that means or you have no idea what I'm talking about, put your thumbs on the inside of your hip crease. You can notice each time that you lift, that hip flexor is really engaged as you lift up. So finding this sense of engagement is really important as we work towards bettering our mobility, our flexibility, because when we learn to find that sense of engagement, we can go a little bit deeper in our further postures. So from here, we'll just take 2 more on either side, keeping that chest lifted before we make our way to face the long edge of our mats to open up through the legs. So we're going to open up here, and as you arrive, hands are going to come to frame your right foot. Again, they can be on blocks if you'd like. You're going to lift your heel up and lower it down. Lift the heel up and lower it down. Again, maybe you press your thumb to that inner hip crease area to notice this engagement. We're here for 3. Just for 2, lowering as softly as you can for 1. And when you're ready, we'll move on to the other side. So hands will frame your left foot. You'll lift the heel up and lower, lift up and lower. Notice the chest nice and open, sit bones rooted down. We're here for just 3. Last 2. I hate these for 1. And then we'll make our way back through center. We'll take 1 quick little butterfly pose just to release through that so you can open up, make yourself through a couple of circles, and then we'll make our way toward the front of our mats. You're going to extend the legs forward. We're going to combine these 2 and add on a little bit of a core challenge. So what we're going to do is hands can come by your sides. We'll lift the heels up, tap out, lift up, tap down, up and out, up and down. Notice your breath here. If you want to add on, you can reach the arms high up overhead. Wherever you are, just notice that your chest is staying nice and lifted. Spine is super tall. We're here for 3. Exhales to lift just for 2. Last 1. And we'll hug the knees in toward the chest before you make your way toward hands and knees. Tabletop position. In tabletop, we'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow, inhaling to drop the belly, lift the gaze. Then exhale to round through your spine. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale for cat. You can also invite some intuitive movements here, maybe some hip circles side to side. Notice what your body's needing. Maybe you even flip the fingertips, getting into the wrists and forearms. We'll take about 2 more deep breaths here with whatever movement you're needing before we make our way toward that flat back tabletop position. And when you arrive in flat back tabletop, we'll tuck the toes, lift your knees just to hover maybe 1 or 2 inches off the floor. You can stay here or walk your thumbs to the center of your mat so that they touch, so they're closer in toward the midline. Stay here, or left knee reaches up towards your chest as the right hand taps. You'll lower it down, step it back, right knee in, left hand taps, step it back. Continue here with your breath, trying to find a sense of stability here. So if you notice that your hips are rocking a lot from side to side, maybe you cool it down, maybe you slow it down, or maybe you stay in that hovering tabletop. We're here for just 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Shift your hips high. Maybe you shake out through the head, nodding yes and no. Release through the shoulders as they shrug down your back away from your ears. On the next breath in, gaze forward. As you exhale, forward fold. Step your feet behind your wrists. Allow your upper body to hang heavy. Maybe you interlace wrists and opposite elbows. Swing side to side. From here, we'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down toward the floor. We'll inhale to slow roll all the way up to a nice tall standing position. Feet either together or hips width apart. Palms facing forward by your sides. On the next breath in, reach the arms high up overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfways lift to lengthen. Draw the shoulders together and back. Exhale, plant your hands. We'll step the feet back into a plank pose. We're going to breathe here for a few breaths. Maybe you lower the knees down or keep the knees lifted as you press your heels toward the back of the space. The fingertips really root down into the floor, pulling back toward the heels of your hands as your shoulder blades protract, lifting the middle of your back up toward the sky. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale as slow as you can, lower all the way down to the floor. We'll untuck the toes, inhale for baby cobra. Peel your chest up, draw the shoulders together and back as you press into the tops of the feet, engage your glutes. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Press through hands and knees or plank, downward facing dog. We'll shift the hips high, maybe pedal out through the feet here. We'll move through about 2 more of these. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfways lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach tall, gaze past the fingers. Exhale, arms rest by your sides. Again, inhale, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfways lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step, step, or hop this time from high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float. Inhale to lengthen, halfways lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach tall, gaze lifts. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Last time, we'll inhale, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfways lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step, step, or hop, moving high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next breath in, kick your right leg high. And exhale, step your foot between your hands. As you breathe in, it's a high crescent lunge. Reach the arms high up overhead. Peel the shoulders down your back. Draw the inner thighs together. We'll take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, straighten through your front knee as you fold your chest forward. Hands can come onto blocks if you'd like. Just noticing that nice release through the back of your right hamstring as you stack your left heel on top of the ball mound of your back foot. Notice the inner thighs drawing in toward each other. We'll take a deep breath in and an exhale. We'll start to flow these movements. Inhale, high crescent lunge, reach tall. And exhale, straighten and fold. Maybe there's airplane arms by your sides. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. And exhale to fold. Continue here with your own breath. We're really just working here to solidify proper movement patterns and work toward better mobility. So notice where your knee is tracking in space. If you notice that you're rushing this movement because it's uncomfortable or you're feeling wobbly, see if you can slow it down. We're not in a rush to get anywhere. We're just trying to help our bodies learn how to move with control. One more round here at your own pace with your own breath before we all meet in a high crescent lunge. We'll take a deep breath in as you arrive. And exhale, power lunge. Biceps by your sides, pinky tips reach toward each other. We'll take a deep breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, warrior three, lift off of your back leg, square your hips as you anchor the left pinky toe down. You can keep your hands behind you at heart center or to the floor. We're gonna lower down into a Shiva squat. So the left knee is gonna come to the right ankle, and we're gonna lift into a one-legged mountain pose from here. Notice the glute engaged, notice the spine nice and tall. We're gonna move through this a couple of times with your own breath. We'll lower down Shiva squat. And as you exhale, lift up one-legged mountain. Inhale to lower. Exhale, one-legged mountain. 3 more times. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. For 2. Exhale. Last one, deep breath in. Exhale, one-legged mountain. Inhale, standing split. Reach your left leg high as your chest folds forward. That right leg is really burning now. So you have the option to stay here. If you want to intensify, you can lift off of the right heel, really burn out through the calf. Notice your stability here. Notice your chest rounding forward. We're here for just 3, 2, 1. Low lunge twist. Plant your left foot down. Plant the left hand. We'll reach the right arm high. We'll take a deep breath in here. And exhale, side plank. Step your right foot to meet your left. You have the option to stay, option to lower your bottom knee, option for a flip dog, reaching the right leg high. Take it behind you as you reach your right arm up and overhead. Find the chest lifted, hips lifted. 1 deep breath in. Exhale, unwind. We'll move high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 deep breath in and a full breath out. On the next breath in, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, high crescent, reach the arms high, square the hips, inner thighs turned on. We'll take a deep breath and stack the spine. And exhale, straighten and fold. Maybe hands to blocks. Chest can fold forward, back heel lifts, thighs zip in. On the next breath in, we'll start to flow. Bend the front knee, reach the arms high. And exhale, straighten and fold. Maybe there's airplane arms by your sides, challenging your balance. We'll inhale to lift, high crescent. And exhale, straighten and fold. Think halfway's lift in the spine, so you're keeping that nice straight spine, shoulders drawing together and back. We're here for just 3 more rounds. Noticing any subtle differences on this side from the last. Maybe you're a little more wobbly or a little more stable on this side. Just notice that without any judgment and make adjustments and adaptations as you need. Last one, inhale here. Exhale to fly it back. We'll inhale, high crescent. And exhale, power lunge. Biceps by your sides, pinky tips reach. Deep breath in. Exhale, warrior 3. Step the weight into your left leg. Right pinky toe anchors to the floor. Chest stays nice and lifted. Pick where you want your hands to go before we lower into our Shiva squat. Right knee down to the left ankle, and then we'll lift into our one-legged mountain pose, right knee up. Again, inhale, lower it down, and exhale to lift. lower down. Exhale, lift. Really feeling rooted down through your left foot. We've got 3 more here. Notice that your left knee is not caving in towards your midline. We want to protect the knee joint, so engaging through your abductors, your outer hip muscles, is really going to help you here. 1 more here before we meet in our one-legged mountain pose. Deep breath in, and exhale, standing split, kick your right leg high. Again, you can stay here, rounding the chest forward. Maybe you lift off of the left heel, fold your chest down towards your shin. For 3, 2, and 1. Low lunge twist. Plant the right foot, plant the right hand, left arm reaches high. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, side plank. Step the left foot to meet the right. Maybe the bottom knee lowers. Maybe you take that flip dog, lifting your left leg and planting it behind you. Left arm reaches up overhead. Nice big back bend here for 1 breath in. And exhale, unwind. Lower high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take a deep breath in. And an exhale. On your next breath in, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfway's lift. Exhale, fold. On your next breath in, feet are going to be about hips width distance as we sink low for a chair pose. So a little bit wider stance, maybe even shoulders width distance here if you'd like. Just begin to notice your knees. Again, pay attention to that knock knees. If your knees are knocking in, see if you can engage your abductor muscles, your outer hip muscles, to press your knees in line with those second and third toes. Chest reaches high. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, one-legged mountain, left knee in towards your chest. 2 options here. Option number 1, grab onto your knee. Maybe you extend the foot forward and hold. If you want to take a little mobility exercise before you head into that, we're going to bend through the back knee, the left knee, reach for the back of your left foot. So right arm's going to come up overhead. We're going to take a hip hinge here. So you're going to hinge at the hips, slight bend in the right knee as you maybe tap the floor or a block. Then we're going to lift back up, grab onto the toes as you extend your left foot forward. We're going to rebend, fold forward, hip hinge. Exhale to lift up, extend the leg. Maybe that's just hugging the knee in, maybe it's a full extension. Find where you're at today. You can also do this with a strap. We'll lower down, lift up, extend, maybe that's a strap, bring it in, and lower down. We're going to take this 2 more times before we hold the leg out and choose whatever bind you'd like to take here. So at your next breath, when you arrive up at the top, leg extends. Maybe you hold on to the foot. Maybe you take a twist. Maybe you open that leg out toward the left. Find what you need here. You can also take a tree pose if that feels more comfortable and more right for your body and your practice. We're here for just 1 deep breath in. And as you exhale, fly through your warrior 3 as you step the foot back into a high crescent lunge. You can remove your block. We'll take a deep breath in, stack the spine. And exhale, open up, warrior 2. Notice that deep bend in your front knee. Hips are nice and open. On your next breath in, reach back, reverse warrior. And exhale, triangle pose. We're going to straighten through the front knee, hinge the hips back as you reach forward. I don't know about y'all, but my hips always crack when I do that, and it's the best feeling. Maybe you gaze up towards your left fingertips, peel the left shoulder back. Take 1 more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, half moon pose, rebend your front knee, fingertips either to a block or the floor. As you press your weight fully into that right leg, you can maybe reach for a bind here or flex your lifted foot so that it's almost as if you want to step it into the back of your space. Wherever you are, steady your balance, steady your gaze. We're here for one more deep breath in. And exhale, warrior two. We'll inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. Hands frame your front foot. We'll step the foot back. You have an option to move through your flow or to take this fun little challenge. We love a challenge. So from here, if you do have sensitive wrists, you can drop to the forearms. What we're gonna do is tuck the tailbone down and lift your right heel up to the sky. So you notice that nice glute engagement. If your low back is rounding here, tuck the tailbone down. You don't wanna injure your low back. And if you do tilt there, you're not engaging all of the muscles of your core to protect it. So we're gonna lower the foot down and lift up, lower down and lift up. So we're finding both an engagement of the glutes, the core, the upper body. I said both, that's two. There's so much engagement going on. So we're here for just 3, for 2. On your last one, maybe you hold the leg up as you move through a 3-legged chaturanga. We'll lift up, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, and an exhale. Nice job, Bo. We're gonna do that again on the other side. So on the next breath in, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfway's lift. Exhale, fold. Again, feet about hips width distance, maybe shoulders width. As we lift the chest, sink the hips. Notice the tailbone tucking down and under. Knees coming out, engage from the inner and the outer. The abductors and the adductors. We're here for one breath in. And as you exhale, one-legged mountain, right knee into your chest. Again, you can stay here. Maybe you take your tree. Maybe the leg or knee extends. If you want to work on that mobility exercise, we're going to bend through that right knee, grab for the top of your right foot. Steady your balance. On your breath in, hip hinge brings you forward, hips squared. Exhale to lift up. We'll straighten through the front leg and rebend. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Continue here with your breath. Again, finding this to have some fluidity to it. If you notice you're trying to rush through it, you're like, oh, I just want it to be over. See if you can find a little bit more focus and control. Understanding that it's not about getting reps in. It's not about how many of these can you complete. It's about the quality of what you do. So even if you accomplish just one of these, or even try to finish half of one, as long as you put your full effort forth and you know that you're maintaining that energy and intention in what you're doing, that's really all that matters. The next time, we're gonna leave the leg forward. You can hold on to it. Maybe again, you take that twist. Maybe you take a tree pose or you fall out like me. Maybe the leg extends out to the side. Find what works for you here. We just have one more breath because that left leg is dying. Deep breath in. And exhale, step it through. High crescent lunge. If y'all are wobbly like me, it makes me feel good. We're doing something right. We'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, open up warrior two. From here, find your stance. Maybe the feet shift out a little bit more, opening up through the hips. Next breath in, we'll reach back. Reverse warrior, stretch your left side. And exhale, triangle pose. We'll hinge the hips back, straighten through the left leg. Reach forward, maybe get that little pop as you open up through your chest. I told y'all, it happens on both sides. So again, peel your right shoulder blade back. Pressing your knuckles into your shin so that you can engage through the obliques and keep that chest lifted. So very active in this pose. On the next breath in, we'll gaze toward the top left corner of your mat, half moon pose. Fingertips plant maybe to a block, maybe to the floor. We can lift the chest, lift the foot. If you have a bind, you can take it. Otherwise, you're flexing that foot, trying to keep your right shoulder blade peeling back. Notice your breath. Find your stability here. One deep breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. Hands frame your front foot. We'll step the foot back. Again, you can flow, or if you want to challenge here, we can tuck the tailbone down, lift your left heel up to the sky. Again, really lift it through the upper back. Notice that engagement of not only your left glute, but your inner right thigh. So we're going to start these taps. So lower down, lift up, lower down, lift up. Try to bring a smile. I know working is hard, but we're doing it, and we're here, and we're alive and moving and breathing. So there's a lot to be grateful for. We're here for just 4, for 3, final 2, and 1. We'll lower. Maybe you keep the heel lifted. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work, y'all. We got one more power flow, and then we get to chill. So we'll take a deep breath in, a full breath out. One more deep breath in, and exhale out. On the next breath in, we'll reach the right leg high, and exhale, step it through warrior one. Pivot your back heel down, reach your arms high. You can gaze up towards your fingers here. Chest is lifted, maybe you drop the head back, baby back bend. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, interlace hands behind your low back. We'll inhale to press the fist down to the floor. And as you exhale, humble warrior, bow your chest forward. Crown of your head can hang heavy here. On the next breath in, lift your chest just off the top of your thigh. We'll come into a bound warrior 3. Get light on your back toes. Anchor the left pinky toe down. We'll take a deep breath in. As you exhale, one-legged mountain pose. Release your grip. We're going to come into a dancer pose. So when you're ready, we're going to bend the left knee. Externally rotate your hands so your thumb is facing out, and you grab the inside of your left foot. Draw the inner thighs together, and we're going to begin by kicking your foot into your hand before you start to allow your chest to bend forward. Whoop. Again, notice this hip hinging movement, so your hips maintain that sense of being level. Maybe there's even a slight bend in your right knee. Maybe you find a baby back bend here, gazing up towards your right fingertips. We'll take a deep breath in, and exhale, release, pyramid pose. You'll step the foot back, straighten through the right leg, fold your chest forward. Again, you can take blocks to frame your feet here to help straighten out that knee. And the chest can simply round here. Notice the right hip pulling back as the left hip presses forward. On the next breath in, we'll take a pyramid twist. Left hand either to the floor or a block as you reach your right arm high. Gazing up towards your right fingertips. We're here for just one breath in. And exhale to release. From here, you can plant your block off to the side. We're going to take a wide-legged fold. Curl your hands over toward the left. Maybe you widen out your stance as you fold your chest forward. Maybe you bend through one knee and then the other. If you have an inversion or a headstand in your practice, you can take that here. We're just going to rest here, releasing through the backs of the legs, through the hips, for just about 2 more breaths. On your next breath in, we'll take a halfway lift to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, low lunge to the top of your mat. and we'll step the foot back. From here, again, you have the option to do one final little core exercise that's gonna help with your inversions. So from here, again, you can lower down onto your forearms, maybe you stay lifted in the hands. We're gonna slowly start to crawl the feet up close toward the wrists, trying to keep the weight as little bit of weight in your toes, mostly the weight is in your hands. Gaze up toward the top of your mat. And we're just gonna play around with lifting one leg and lowering, lifting the other leg and lowering. Again, you can do this on forearms, coming into a dolphin pose where you lift and lower, you'll lift and lower. We're just here for 4. Stay with your breath for 3. Final 2. You've got it. Strong breath, strong core. Last one either side. And then we can flow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's do it. High to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale to sigh. Nice work. Let's do it. Left side, lift the left leg high. And exhale, step it through. Warrior 1. Reach the arms high. Both heels are planted. Root down through the outer edge of your right foot. Maybe you take the hands to touch as you drop your head back, gazing toward the fingertips. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, interlace hands behind your low back. Inhale, press your fists down toward the floor. And exhale, humble warrior, bow your chest forward. We'll take one more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, bound warrior 3, get light on your back toes. Shift the weight into your left foot. We're here for just a breath. Exhale, one-legged mountain pose, right knee in towards your chest. Release your grip. Again, we're gonna take our dancer pose. So you can bend your right knee in line with your left. Externally rotate your thumb to face out. Reach for the inside of your foot. Draw the inner thighs together. Reach the left arm high. Take a deep breath in, find that core engagement. And as you exhale, kick the foot into your hand. And maybe you allow your chest to dip forward. Rooting down through all 3 corners of that left foot. Noticing that your knee is tracking directly forward, not caving in toward the midline. One more deep breath in here. And exhale, pyramid pose. Plant your foot back. We'll straighten through the front leg and fold your chest forward. Again, maybe hands come to blocks here. Maybe not. Just working to stay straight through that left leg. Root down through the outer edge of your right foot. We'll take one more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, we'll take that pyramid twist. Left arm reaches up toward the sky. Continue to square your hips forward. We've got just one breath here. Exhale, release, wide-legged fold. Crawl your hands toward the right. Allow your chest to drop forward. Again, if you have a headstand here, if you have some rounds of Skandasana here, you can take whatever you need. Just listen to your body, taking this time to really slow down, figure out what your body is craving. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, low lunge, hands frame your front foot. We'll step the foot back. Nice work. And again, you can take that previous variation where you crawl the feet forward, lift one heel, lift the other. Or if you'd like, you can start to take these little froggy guys where you step the foot up, knee in towards your armpit, step it back, left knee to armpit, and step it back. Really just finding any variation of some core activation you'd like. Maybe you have a headstand, handstand, or shoulder stand you want to pop into. You can totally do that here too. This is really just here to help you build the strength that you need if you ever do choose to move down that path of inversion practice. We're here for just 4. For 3, I know it's on both sides. It's like, why? Why you gotta do both sides? Just 2. And 1, it's for balance. It's equanimity. We're gonna lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 1 deep breath in. And a full breath out. On your next breath in, kick your left leg high. And exhale, half pigeon pose. We're gonna take your shin toward the top of your mat. Maybe you take a block underneath your left glute. Just slowly start to make your way into this with ease. If you know that you want to do a little back bending, try to do that first before you fully melt down, finding a sense of activation before you find that relaxation. And again, maybe you take your bind of your foot, maybe you take a king pigeon or some other variation before you do decide to melt down. And in your half pigeon, notice if there's any tension that you're feeling throughout your body. Maybe that's some source of mental tension or physical tension with a clenching of the jaw. See if you can release any clenching here. Just notice the sensations that you feel from a sense of wonderment and analysis rather than judgment. Next breath in, press our way up to a nice tall seat. You're going to swing your right leg around toward the top right corner of your mat, taking kind of a seated tree shape. So here, you're going to inhale, reach your arms high, and exhale, fold your chest forward over that right leg. Notice the deep release through your hamstring. Maybe there's a deep bend in your knee here. Y'all remember we worked on those hip flexors earlier in class. Well, that was for a reason, and this is that reason. So we're going to play with something. So you're going to make your way up to a nice tall seat, and we're just going to try to find a little bit of, movement in the hips. So what we're going to do, play around with it, see how you can do. We're going to try to swing that right leg back around behind us. It doesn't have to be perfect like that half pigeon shape. It doesn't have to go fully straight. Even a slight bend is good. We're just trying to find some mobility in the hip. So you're going to come back forward, draw it up toward the top, and then we're going to draw it back toward the back of our mat. So again, draw it forward, exhale to draw it back. You can take fingertips to the floor, maybe to blocks here if you'd like. Really just trying to find our way around here. It's almost like we have to retrain our bodies to be like little kids again. Little kids just roll and crawl and do all these crazy weird shapes with their bodies that we get into these patterns of just rounding forward or hunching or whatever it is that we spend our day doing, that we forget that we're born with this mobility, with this sense of, in privileged bodies, I know not everyone, but if you are born in a body that can move freely, why not train it to do what it was born to do, So from here, that's enough of that. We're gonna extend the legs into a nice wide position and just take a wide-legged fold. So allow your chest to melt forward, straightening through the spine before maybe you crawl your hands forward a little bit more. Again, in this stretch, don't just notice the flexibility aspect of it. Notice the activation here. So the activation of those hip flexors as they work to tilt your pelvis forward. So without that activation, it's a lot more difficult to find depth here, at least in a safe way. And from here, we're going to slowly press into the hands, make your way back up. And if you want, you can go to down dog, or since we played around with that whole meow, 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 meow thing, we can, if that made sense, we can take the right shin toward the top of your mat, and then like we did before, swing that leg back and find your way towards your half pigeon on this side. Again, down dog's always an option. Do what works for your body. We're all just learning and moving. So again, maybe you need a block here. Maybe you take that back bend. Maybe you simply rock your weight forward over your right shin. Wherever you're moving, whatever you're working with, just see if you can move with grace for yourself. Trying to understand what you need in each moment and giving that to yourself. And even here, begin to notice if you have any like subtle differences on this side. Maybe you have a little bit more room. Maybe you're a little tighter. Just noticing whatever you're feeling. And with that sense of noticing, also tuning into how you can support your body where it's at right now. On your next breath in, we'll press into that nice tall seat. Again, you're gonna swing that left leg around town. We're gonna take the right foot to the inside of your left thigh. We'll inhale to reach the arms high, and as you exhale, fold your chest forward. Allow the upper body to hang heavy. Again, maybe there's that deep bend in the knee here. And from here, we'll slowly press into the hands, lift your chest. Same little mobility exercise on this side. So we're going to take the hands maybe to the floor, maybe to heart center. As you swing the left leg back, find your chest lifted, and then we're going to swing the left leg forward. Again, maybe there's a block underneath your seat here to make this a little bit more accessible. Just trying to find a little bit of movement in those hips. We do a lot of sitting. I don't know about y'all. I do a lot of sitting, I do a lot of walking, and I don't always pay attention to my hips in the way that I should. So hopefully this can bring a little bit of the same kind of benefit it brought to me to you. We'll take about 2 or 3 more here at your own breath. Just moving at a pace that works for you before we start to find our way into a seated forward fold. So from here, we're gonna extend the legs forward. Inhale to reach the arms high. And exhale, fold your chest forward. And again, maybe there's a super deep bend in the knees here. Give yourself the room that you need. From here, we're gonna slow roll all the way up to a nice tall seat, and then slow roll all the way down to your back. From here, we're gonna bring the heels in toward the hips. Fingertips can graze your heels. We're just gonna take one round of back bending. So whatever you wanna do, maybe that's a restorative bridge with a block, maybe that's a bridge pose with the heels, pressing into the floor, glutes engaged, hips lifted. If you wanna take a wheel pose, you can take that. Hands behind you, pressing into the hands to shift your hips up toward the sky. Wherever you are, just noticing your breath, noticing this sense of this slight inversion of your blood flow up towards your head. Taking about 2 more breaths here before we all start to melt it down and make our way back onto our backs. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Before we reach for a happy baby, grabbing for the outsides or insides of your feet. You can rock your weight from side to side. Maybe you straighten through one leg and then through the other. Maybe even through both. Before we slowly start to make our way to Supta Baddha Konasana, a supine butterfly pose. Feet together, knees out wide. You can take your hands maybe to your hips, maybe to your thighs, or one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Maybe the arms even come up overhead. So you find this nice sense of being fully open, releasing your weight down toward the earth. Taking a few gentle moments here to acknowledge the sensations you feel in your body, maybe the difference in the energy that you hold here. Remembering back to the beginning of class when we tuned into our energy, when we sat with the breath. How does it feel now, after doing all of that, to sit with your breath, to be with yourself? You're welcome to stay in this supine butterfly pose or to melt the legs down into a final resting pose of Shavasana with the legs out long, arms down by your sides, rolling the shoulders down your back. Maybe you even tilt the chin in towards your chest slightly. Softening the breath. And with each exhale, softening the body deeper into the space around you. We'll slowly start to deepen the breath. Notice your belly rise and fall with each inhalation and exhalation. Maybe you bring small movements to the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, perhaps even Extending the arms up overhead as you point through your toes. And when you feel ready, we'll bring a bend into the knees. Begin to rock your weight onto one side. Taking just a few moments here to notice that feeling of support from the ground beneath you. And notice that feeling of support from within. I've been giving yourself the space today to truly accept where you are in your body and to build on that. And when you feel ready, we'll slowly begin to press our way up into a nice tall seat. Again, this can be cross-legged, maybe you're on your knees or on a block. Wherever you are, roll the shoulders down your back, stack the spine. We're gonna end class today how I always like to, with 2 breaths and the sound of Om. So we're inhaling, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Another deep breath in, reach tall, scoop up all that good energy. Exhale, hands through heart. We'll take a deep breath in for the sound of Om. Thank y'all so much for sharing your practice with me today. It really does mean a lot. I hope you enjoyed this flow. I had a lot of fun moving with it. I hope you did too. If you want to see more flows, if you want to practice more with me, feel free to like, subscribe, comment anything you might want to see in the future. And yeah, appreciate y'all taking this time to take care of yourselves and flow with me on your mats. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Namaste. Bye, y'all.